Well, hello there. My name is Mr. Steed. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a Field. No, I'm just kidding. I'm Kathy Gale. No, I am Tara Strong. Anyway, I'm here with Lee, and we are Geeks Assembled. This is Audio Heads, and we are discussing the Too Many Targets, an Avengers story. Not the ones of superheroes, but these are like the super spies kind. We go back to Tuesday, okay? Because he's wearing a Batman shirt, I'm going to do it Tuesday. Because that's what this is. And this is a super meetup. This is actually like all, what if all? It's like, oh, what is it? What is it? It's sort of like if the fifth doctor, if the five doctors was done with the, in, in the genre of the Avengers, and it's really cool. And the baddie's played by Christopher Benjamin, and so like that's really fun. Anyway, we have with me is Lee, and he is going to tell you what his opening thoughts on what he thought of Too Many Targets, the Avengers.
Cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is cool.
it's groovy. It's it's based on a novel what was released in the early 90s, I think it was.
Yeah,
Um,
by John Peel,
and
a writer who's worked with Big Finish and with Doctor Who.
yeah, and it's as you mentioned, it's sort of like a Five Doctors or as Avengers Assembled, but this is Avengers the UK spies, as you've said, where they have all the 1960s Avengers together. They haven't got the 70s Avengers with them on this, but so we don't get Perdy or Gambit on this. But we
Purdy,
do get
that she was played by Joanna Lovely. I love it. I love that lady so much.
uh,
Okay, good.
but
Anyway, go.
we do get Dr. Keel, we do get Kathy Gale, we do get Emma Peel, and we do get Tara King.
So
Um,
cool.
and it's they're all being set up, and it's nice to know it's a returning villain from the TV series.
I
What is in them?
know. I-
Um, you said Christopher Benjamin plays the baddie. He doesn't. He plays Mother,
Well,
who's
in some respects, once. Okay, go ahead. Go
but
on.
but it's all about doppelgangers, and it's all about who do you trust, and it's all set up to get everybody together for an evil plan by this um, shall we say Nazi scientist who has discovered how to transfer memory, soul, into a robotic body, um, so he could live forever.
Mm-hmm.
Which they do use, and they bring a character back from the TV series, played by a different actor, of course, because the actor who played him in the original TV series, Michael Goth, is no longer with us. But they bring him back as in a new body. Um, so yeah, it's well, what can I say? It's the Cybernauts, everybody. The Cybernauts are back. Um, yeah, you get the feeling of the '60s Avengers. You get and it's good to have these characters working together because uh, Dr. Keel, Kathy Gale never met Emma Peel or Tara King.
No, they never did a meetup.
Not on screen. Emma Peel met Tara King in one episode. Emma Peel's last episode, she met Tara King. So she was like handing over the keys to her to take over the job.
Oh, okay.
Um, so, and also as well, we get a little cameo from two other Avengers. What are not really in this story, but they're in the TV series. Venus Smith and I can't remember the other name now, but at the end of this, but it's just great to have John Steed wheeling in his bowler hat and umbrella, the high kicking Kathy Gale and Emma Peel and Tara King, and the ever feet grounded on the floor Dr. Keel working together against this evil genius. It's just great. And it's just, as I say, you get the feel of that the TV show. It's done. This is done with love.
So much love. Yeah.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's a two-disc story. It's what 120 minutes, but it flies by
so fast.
so fast. It's a high octane adventure from the Avengers. But yeah, you get all the comedic parts are there from what the TV series. As you say, you get Christopher Benjamin playing Mother, who if people remember from the TV series, he was Steed's boss. He was the guy in the wheelchair.
Right.
Cold Mother.
And he was played by Broadbent in the movie one.
Oh, in the movie, yeah.
With Sean Connery, that one. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
So I just enjoyed it. It was just somewhat different to a review because we haven't done an Avengers one for quite a while.
No.
And it was good to put those kinky boots back on.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you've ever heard the song from the Kinky Boots, Kinky Boots. So yeah, I enjoyed it, Susan. What about you?
I did too. 100%. That was fun. It was great to listen to. And I loved it when the cybernauts were actually able to fool people, and that there was doing this whole AI thing. Okay, like people are really worried about AI right now, and this is a very timely story about AI. Yes, it was written in '90, but it could have been written, yesterday, for crying out loud. It's so fucking right on. Like people are really wondering about like how easy it is. I mean, what is it? ScarJo just got pissed off at one of the companies using AI for using her voice as the voice of the AI. I mean, like, yeah, there's like enough of an issue right now. I mean, the Avengers movie with Uma Thurman and Ralph Fiennes, I think it was. That was great. I mean, that had its like little magic moments, but they were like dealing with the weather and stuff. But when you talk about the cybernauts and you talk about doppelgangers and AI, you've got like this. It's right on the cutting edge of what's going on right now. And that's what's really weird about these two podcasts that we're doing right now this weekend, is that even though from the past it has a lot of sort of nostalgia for the past, this is right now. This is stuff that's right now, real current. And people are worried about like their faces being used, their voices being attached to things that they didn't say, didn't do. Videos created with their reality. And some of these actors came with a lot of reality. Like Beth Chalmers, she's in a lot of things with Big Finish, but in this case, she's her Kathy Gale was I mean, it was hard. It was hard to tell. And so I mean, not only do we have actors putting forth these characters that were played by other people in the 60s, but we also have the whole, vocal capture device and then reproducing it with the cybernauts. And the cybernauts, man, they were a cool, that was a cool 60s kind of villain, because when they faked Mother, I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, that's Mother,
Yeah.
right? And so, like, don't do this, and then the next call said do. It was just amazing. Like, of course, the actor played both, but like the reality that's kind of I willingly suspend disbelief in order to impose my own headcanon and reality upon all these situations, and the Avengers are no different. And this is really sweet. So, favorite moments, over to you, Lee, before I get into them.
Well, as you said, the Sabernauts was such a success in the '60s that they made 2 appearances in the '60s, and then they returned in the '70s in the new Avengers as well. So it was, people like these Sabernauts, and they worked so well. They worked so well, as I say, on audio. Um, my favorite part, it's I just like the wisecracks from the Steed and Mrs. Peel, because that was my favorite era of the show. I mean, I like all the Avengers, but my favorite era of the show was the Peel and Steed era, because went so surreal. Because before that, it was Kathy Gale and Dr. Keel, and it was sort of grounded as
Uh-huh.
just a spy series. But as soon as Emma Peel came out, it went so surreal well with the event of the Summer of Love and Acid. Um, but and you have got this that feel about it, you know. The fight scenes when you find out that another character is a Cybernaut, um, with the fighting with the trombone,
Mhm.
and which is so well done. Um, but I just like the performances from the actors in this, because it's very difficult to take over a character when in your mindset you know who played them for so long and was so successful on TV. Patrick, who played John Steed, was just it goes down in history as John Steed. But you've got Julian Wadham here. He puts his own take on the character, and you get the feel of Steed, but it's his Steed. It's not Patrick McNee's Steed.
Mhm.
But it works.
Mhm.
Same with Emma Peel, Olivia Poulet, and Dr. Keel, Anthony Howell. They've all brought themselves into these characters, because you could never replace the original actors,
Right.
because they're so iconic in them roles. You just have to go with just make it your own, and they have done it. I mean, they did it in the lost episodes of the Avengers. They've done it in the comic strip adaptations of the Avengers, and they've done it with this. So, I mean, I don't know if the Avengers of the audio series has come to a natural end now. I don't know, um, but there is always the new Avengers that could try.
Right.
I'm sure. I'm sure there's some comic strips that they could adapt for audio for the new Avengers.
Mhm.
So fingers crossed that maybe could get the rights for that. So
Any discussion that we have with the executive producer of all these things, Jason Haig-Ellery, any time we're talking, he's always like, it's we're still asking for the rights.
yeah,
Like, he's like a dog with a bone. He's not going to let go of the things that he really liked, that really increased his enjoyment of these stories that he loves, and he's not going to give up and just say, oh
yeah,
well, we couldn't get rights. He really tries hard
Yeah,
to get them for
yeah, I know the more famous for doing Doctor Who, but if you're just doing that, then people may get bored of just one range of things. When they know these are capable of doing a hell of a lot more,
so true.
much more, and they have done. I mean,
They,
it's a shame it's a shame when they do lose the rights,
yeah,
like when they lost Sapphire and Steel rights and the Tomorrow People rights.
right,
They,
exactly.
they were, they were great audios, those.
Yeah, and the Avengers, because of their iconic look and stuff, it really was hard for Uma and Ralph Fiennes to make it happen on the screen.
I don't know.
So
I mean, I enjoyed the movie.
I did too.
It just felt like another episode. I mean, it wasn't worthy of a movie, but it was just felt like a feature length episode off the TV.
Right. But like what I'm saying is that it's hard when you to do a recast with the the character that you're playing firmly planted in your mind. But these actors who do the recast on audio, your
Mhm.
mind can be fooled, and it's just that easy. It's just that
I
much
mean,
fun.
you've
And
got
and there we go again. Then we're back to what the cybernauts. There's the good idea, which is recast and to train another actor to do the same thing. Or there's do the cybernaut way, which is, eliminate the original, put your doppelganger, your dual, your automaton with your face back in and go for another 60-year journey. There's that AI thing is going to pose that question, over and over and over again.
that's true. You've got in this as well. You've got an actor who's really well known in the UK, and he's mostly well known around the world for fans of the Poirot series, the TV series. Um, Hugh Fraser playing Dr. Cowles,
Uh-huh.
who is most famous for playing Hastings in
Uh-huh.
the Poirot, as Poirot's assistant.
Yeah.
He always plays always a gentleman,
Gentleman.
always a gentleman, but then there's always a nasty twist, and he always turns out to be a villain or something like that. Of course, he doesn't fail us here,
No.
but
Nails it.
it's a great story. And it's a good thing to add to the collection of the Avengers as well, because it's canon.
It is.
I don't like that word canon because people start arguing over it, and
I
it's
know.
if as long as it's got the name Avengers, as long as it's got the name Star Trek, as long as it's got the name Doctor who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah,
Exactly. Star Wars too.
yeah,
You
Star Wars
you
as well.
you diminish it by separating it into legends and canon.
Yeah. So yeah, so I liked everything about it. The fighting in the factory,
Mm-hmm.
near the end of where they all come together, where Steed, Gale, and Peel were fooled by the doppelgangers of King and with doppelgangers of Gale and Keel.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that fooled me straight away. You just thought, oh wow, that got me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I enjoyed it. And of course the music, the theme tune. As soon as that starts, it's called the it's called the Snake, I think it is.
Ba, 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 ba.
So yeah, so got you then. What's your favourite bits? So
Well, I just the fights were great. The the discussions. Would you like some tea? Yeah. So that
have
whole
you got any?
seminar.
Have you got any champagne?
We got any champagne? Oh, the champagne is chilling over here.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so great. It was so great. And the on the driving around in the car, the soundscape was great with that. I was like, wow. And then like just the cybernauts, like the revelation of the cybernaut, that was super fun. Oh man, that was super fun. And yeah, so I'm personally, I'm super glad that we listened to this one.
We've also got Dan.
The ones the fact of that started off with such jeopardy, like the dead agents thing, and like they had to like work it out with Mother, like what their step would be, how they would address this. That was cool. And then
Yeah.
the end of it, like the thing that they never fixed, like they never fixed the fact that this gorilla was out of the zoo. And I mean, like that, when you're in the first episode, that's what they're doing, and then
Mhm.
they kind of like push it off to the side, and there's this whole other thing that happens.
And that's why at the end of it, Steed says we need another team on it, and
Uh-huh.
that's why they're bringing Venus Smith and I can't remember the the character's name now, but they were in the TV series,
Right.
so they're mostly going to be dealing with the gorilla, the
Yeah.
robotic gorilla. But
Oh yeah, that's right. The gorilla was one of the cybernauts.
yeah, um, going back to the actors in it, we got Dan Starkey in here again.
And Dan Starkey, who played
Playing three characters, but the main one I like, he's playing Brodny, who
Rodney.
who is a Russian embassy, ambassador.
Uh-huh.
Uh, he appeared in the TV series
So
many,
yeah.
played by the late great Warren Mitchell.
Uh-huh.
And if anybody out there knows Warren Mitchell, he's most famous for is playing Alf Garnett in Till Death Us Do Part and all like that, as the
Oh.
bigoted working class man.
Uh-huh.
But he always played Brodny in the TV series, and Steed always got the upper hand on him.
Always the upper hand.
He always ended up with mud on his face in Brodny.
Uh-huh.
But it was great to bring that character in, and Dan Starkey did a great job.
Yeah.
But yeah, love it.
So yeah, we got like 4 stories in this, and 4 episodes. It was about 2 hours long, and um so it started with the gorilla, and at the very end is the gorilla. So like there was a nice bookend kind of thing. And then the other thing was the main story of Cybernauts is so timely for right now. Oh my gosh. I mean, like Chat GPT, like I have used Chat GPT on numerous occasions, and it's a good thing. You know, AI is amazing when you're using it for good, but for evil, oh my gosh. Like the idea that much power, that much aptitude turned to the dark side. We have a Houston, we have a problem. Anyway, yeah. So or Mr. Steve, we need to. You are required. Isn't that what it is?
It's Mrs. Peel. We're needed.
You're needed. Yes, that's it. Yes. So, and their targets, like the fact that there was just too many of them, I thought that was great. And so there we are. Roll credits. It's like there was, all of the all of the Avengers being targeted was great fun. That was so cool. And the fact that these are like the these are like the hip and groovy you know, James Bond people. It really is like what if James Bond was sort of hip and groovy and female in the case of this Bill Gale and
Well, this is what I don't understand about when people say there's no good female characters in entertainment or literature. Of course there is. They've been writing these characters for decades.
yeah, I know. And that's and 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 when you hear Eddie slash Susie Azar speak about the Avengers, you know why, because like there's so much of a big fandom about these women in
These
these
women,
groups.
these women, what kick ass.
They yeah, and like they inspired Modesty Blaze, and they inspired the show, the Kick Ass. I mean, all of these women are like, well, they're better than Bond girls, that's for sure. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
they
because
are they're
these know how to
quintet
handle themselves.
yeah.
Bond
What
Bond girls, well, not all the time, but most of the time, Bond girls are like damsels in distress.
right, and these are like these are like Bond
These,
versus
yeah,
Bond
don't
girls.
mess with them. Don't mess with them, or you'll end up on the floor
That's
with a
right.
karate chop or a high kick.
And kinky boots, and all of this done in kinky boots.
Yeah.
Just so cool. Oh man. So so we talked about AI, we talked about the kick-ass women characters, we talked about James Bond, we talked about, let's see what else. Um Hip and groovy, you talked about the whole psychedelia part of it. Yeah, I think that we've covered almost everything. If there's anything else, what else?
I think we've gone right through it.
Oh,
It's just
the music. Yeah, the music was
the music.
amazing.
It's what an iconic theme tune. As soon as it opens up, you know you're watching the Avengers.
Yeah, Laurie Johnson, is that right?
Yeah,
So good. And the rest of the music was written by Jamie Robertson, and it was produced by David Richardson, who
yeah.
who showed up in the discussions at the end
John,
of it. Great, great to
yeah, John
hear.
John Do- yeah, John Doney adapted it from the
Yeah,
um, John Peel and Dave Rogers novel.
yeah, that's right.
Mm.
And the novel was written to celebrate them as like a five doctor saint, like John. That's what John Peel was saying, and that was great. And then you know John Dorney's written so many things for Big Finish and adapted so many of these things into scripts. He's amazing too.
I think most of the producers, directors, writers at Big Finish are amazing.
Uh-huh.
Some are a bit,
But like this is really like the best.
Oh
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
timely. And so anything else?
No, no. I think we've covered everything.
I think so too. What would you give it?
Well, I'm gonna I'm gonna give it 10 high-tech bowler hats out of 10.
Right, and I'm gonna give it 10 or 15 out of 10 Kiki boots. Yeah, because this is so cool and so much fun. And um Yeah, the Avengers, the Marvel Avengers got their name from this TV
Yeah,
show.
because the TV series started in 19.
50,
It was either 1960 or 61. I can't remember when.
59, I think. Because I think that was one of Nicholas Courtney's first jobs was working with the Kathy Gale and Dr. David Keel. Or yeah. So anyway, I enjoyed it a lot. It was really awesome and very, very hip and groovy.
Oh yeah,
So
and that
cool.
and that's how it should be with the Avengers.
Hmm. And if any of you guys would like to join us to talk about these things, because we get to listen to them, and boy, does it blow your mind and get you feeling awesome. Like you wander off like after listening to an Avengers or watching an Avengers thing going, you feel like you are as cool as they are. And that's like the impartation of cool that well written, flashy, science fiction-y, uh definitely awesome spycraft stuff does. And yeah, so we get a chance to be part of that when you listen to it on audio. It's a lot more personal involvement, and that's why I enjoin you to join us, please. No, tell Lee that you want to come listen with us. And we have a cool podcast. Other folks know it. And this week it's just going to be like everything is so very timely. So enjoy your AI, do your chat GPT, enjoy the recreation of of characters from the past, even with Carrie Fisher.
Yeah,
And not turning them into cybernauts, but the possibility with cybernauts is endless. I mean, endless. Like they literally could be your best friend, your next door neighbor, or the person running for president of the United States who can't stop talking about Hannibal Lecter. And he could be a cybernaut for all we know. For all we know. Anyway, all that to be said, well written stuff here. Thanks,
yeah,
thanks,
definitely.
John Doherty, John Peel. Good stuff.
And Ken
And
Bentley.
yeah, if you do join us, all you gotta have is like a camera, microphone, Zoom, a device. Be 18 or older, because we don't want kids talking about these hip and groovy things. Like the fact that you always wanted Mrs. Peel to give Mr. Steed a smooch. You always kind of wanted to, even though
Well, she did have Emma Peel.
they were ostensibly married to other folks. Anyway, and then also you wanted us to like and subscribe and share these widely. When you subscribe, hit the bell notification button. I'll do the dinger, but it's only for my ears apparently. So ding ding.
Ding ding.
And yeah, thanks.